Good morning to you. Welcome to your bite-sized word. This is a very quick one. I've been thinking a lot about, because I've been speaking a lot about the Holy Spirit stirring God's people to pray or to trust Him, to jump into the river, whatever the Holy Spirit's telling you to do, and pressing into the place of intimacy with Him so that you can hear what He wants you to do. And I keep thinking about a dream I had recently, very recently actually, a couple of months ago, where I was sitting above a pool. There was a pool. It was a natural pool. It wasn't a chlorine swimming pool. And there were rocks and things involved. And I was sitting quite high up with my legs dangling over the edge of the wall. And I was looking down at the people in the water. Now, I don't like heights. And I also don't like diving into a pool. I will get in feet first until it's, knee length, waist length. And even then, I don't even like to get my head under water. That's just me. It's got nothing to do with the dream. So anyway, I was sitting there just dangling my feet over, looking down at the water, not even thinking about jumping in. And along came a baby, a proper baby, a chubby baby wearing a nappy. And he shouldn't have been able to walk firstly, but he walked over, sat down next to me with his feet dangling over the edge of the pool. And I thought to myself, where are his parents? Well, this is quite dangerous because if he falls, it's quite a high fall into that water. I don't know if he can swim. And I looked at him, he looked at me and he started to have a conversation with me. He was saying, I want to jump into that water. And I looked and through, in my mind went all these questions. He shouldn't be able to speak, never mind walk. He's having a conversation with me. And as I turned to find his parents, he just jumped off the edge, pushed himself off the edge of the pool. And I watched him fall into the water and hit the bottom of the water. And my mind was racing. He's going to drown. He's going to injure himself. Where are his parents? And I saw him hit the water. He surfaced again, and the look of joy on his face was unbelievable, that he had found his natural atmosphere. This is where he wanted to be. And I looked at him and I thought, maybe I should try that too, which was a miracle for me. And I did. I let myself go off the edge of the water. I pushed myself on the edge of the wall. I pushed myself over, hit the water. And as I hit the water, I had that same feeling that I saw on his face. This is where I belong. This is so freeing. It was so refreshing and so freeing being in that water. And I went to God and I said, what is this about? And I felt God say to me that this is a time where His Spirit is drawing us into deeper places of intimacy, where it's a time to let go of our reasoning of, I was saying, where are his parents? What's going to happen? This is dangerous. Faith is a risk. It's jumping over into a place that God has told you about. We read in the water about the Ezekiel 47 river that is too deep, that you cannot cross. You can't walk across it. You've got to get in it. And I feel as if God is saying, it's time for living water. It's time to let go of what you know by hanging on to the edge of that pool. And down there is a place inviting you to a place of freedom, a place of joy, that when you step in faith and you receive the power of the Holy Spirit on your life, it's like wells in your life that you've been longing. You recognize there's a destiny in and upon your life. There's a calling to so much more than you're experiencing now. There's an encounter that God is setting you up for. And it's the only way we receive this is by faith, by letting ourselves go from what we know to hang on to. And this place is familiar. And I recently did an online session about Elijah, or a bite-sized word, I'm not sure. I think it was online. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's there somewhere. But Elisha following Elijah from place to place in 2 Kings 2. And every time Elijah said to him, stay here, please, for I'm going on to the next place. And it was almost as if he was being given the option, Elisha was being given the option to stay in the place that was familiar, where he could handle this. He could get by and it was okay. But Elisha knew he needed more to fulfill his destiny as prophet to the nation, stepping into the shoes of, or the mantle of Elijah. And so he let go of what was familiar. It's like he let go of the sides of the pool and he just followed Elijah into the place of the unknown. He was trusting that he would receive that double portion of the Spirit that he knew that he needed. He didn't just ask that when Elijah said to him, what do you want from me? In other words, he didn't just ask that for the sake of having, more accurate prophecies or more power in his ministry or a greater following. He asked that because he knew he had a destiny to fulfill. And I believe that's where a lot of people are in the season, that as the world goes into panic, it's only the Holy Spirit who's going to help us to perceive the thing that God is doing, the new thing. He's in Isaiah 43, he said, I'll do a new thing. Shall you not see it? Shall you not know it? Shall you not perceive it? And to perceive something means that you discern something, and it also means to be privy to. You'll hear me speak about this in the online sessions. To be privy to something, in other words, to have inside information, to have information given to you that no one else knows about. And it's only the Holy Spirit who will help you to discern, help you to see what you need to see in this season so that you perceive what God is doing instead of getting into panic mode because of what the enemy's doing. So that only comes out of intimacy and by letting go of the sides of the pool and jumping in and saying, God, I want to hear from you. I want everything you have for me in the season, and he's waiting to give it to you. So have a fantastic day. Be encouraged with that, and I'll see you soon again.